Hi and welcome. We are going to roast some vegetables today, and then I'm going to use them in a chicken dish in another video, chicken 2 ways, so you can check that out. But we're just going to start, what I've chosen to roast is some sweet potatoes, some beets, and some carrots. And then towards the end, after those kind of soften up, we may throw in some zucchini and some squash. So let's get cutting on the sweet potatoes.
Alright, I'm showing you here not just cutting up the sweet potatoes, but the beets also. And a few things I'd like for you to note. First of all, that little green vegetable peeler is the most wonderful vegetable peeler I've ever used. It's by a Swedish company. I believe the name of it is Xylus, but it is fantastic. Great investment. Another thing, notice that I have on rubber gloves, and the reason is that beets can stain your hands really badly. So you don't want to be walking around with pink fingers. This is just a great precautionary measure. And then thirdly, I am doing my best to cut everything up uniformly so that it will just bake in the oven more evenly. There you go.
All right, so now we've got our sweet potatoes, our beets. Remember to use those gloves when you're cutting the beets so you don't get pink fingers. And then I also just threw in some bite-sized already peeled carrots. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil. You could also use some coconut oil. You could use duck fat, which is what I really wanted to use, but I had a difficult time finding it today, so no duck fat. But any of that would be wonderful. I'm going to sprinkle my house blend, which is salt, pepper, onions, onion powder, and garlic powder. And you can get that recipe from my website. All right. And then just for a little extra added yummy is I'm just going to take some rosemary and sprinkle it right over the top. And I'm not even going to chop it. I'm just going to leave it whole. The easiest way to get rosemary too is hold it at the top and kind of strip it down the back. That makes it easy to come off. I mean, if you want to chop it, you can, but the way we're roasting it, I'm not worried about it. But just pulling that rosemary off kind of activates the oils in it, and it smells so terrific. Very nice. All right. So I'm just going to give that just a little bit of a quick toss to kind of get the olive oil spread out on it. And try to kind of get it into a single layer. And when I chopped everything, I tried to keep it in pretty uniform sizes so it will all roast at the same time. So we're going to pop this into a 400-degree oven. And we'll start looking at it in about 20 to 25 minutes and see how it's doing. If it's starting to get tender then we can add in our zucchini and our squash. Other good things to roast are cauliflower. That is absolutely one of my favorites. I can eat an entire head of roasted cauliflower. It is, by myself, it is absolutely wonderful. I mean, you've got butternut squash, all different kinds of things that you could throw in with this. But I thought this was a pretty mix with the orange and the purple. So we're going to pop it in the oven real quick. All right, our roasted vegetables are out of the oven. And, you know, there's a couple of ways you could finish them off at this point. If you like pickled beets, you could definitely do like an apple cider vinegar and some orange. And if you're doing paleo, you could add in a little bit of honey. But if you're doing a Whole30, then you might just want to use the sweetness of an orange with that apple cider vinegar. And that should give you a little bit of a pickled beet taste. But what I'm going to do, since we're doing this with chicken and we've used some balsamic vinegar in a couple of our chicken dishes, I'm just going to sprinkle a little balsamic vinegar over the top. We already have olive oil on there and some rosemary and our house blend of seasonings. So we'll just do the the balsamic real quick. Kind of give that a little bit of a quick toss. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut an orange and just squeeze just a little bit of that over, just for a little tangy. And a little bit of salt. And then just, I have some rosemary left over, so why not use it? And give that a quick toss again. All right, now we have our wonderful chicken that we did, and we're just going to add some of the roasted vegetables. You know, you could also, like I talked about earlier, roast zucchini, cauliflower. You could roast squash, butternut squash, turnips, all kinds of things. That would Brussels sprouts. They would all be wonderful. But this makes a pretty plate, and I think it's going to be absolutely delicious. So, the roasted vegetables. Make sure you check out. Or you're checking out that video, but make sure you go check out my chicken rosemary video. And then I would say, bon appetit. Enjoy.